It's called Get Some. So full spoilers are ahead if you have not seen this episode. And we just jump right into it, man, because it's just like when A-Train blew through his girlfriend, uh, poor Huey is covered in guts again, except this time it's not his girlfriend, it's Translucent Man. And it's pretty gross. Just all of a person getting dripped off of you. But if you watch Preacher, made by the same people and created by the same comic book mind, you're used to this kind of thing. Otherwise, this is even more hardcore than Preacher gets it, but Preacher gets really hardcore. In fact, I can't say enough that if you haven't watched Preacher and you watch this, you have to watch Preacher. And just scooping him up with a shovel and everything. And poor Huey, I mean, but we see later on that he made his choice. And you can't just leave when you ass-bomb America's sweetheart, as Billy so delicately puts it. And I get where Billy's coming from here. I mean, you can't trust Huey alone. You just can't. I mean, in any story where a character like this goes off on their own, they always fuck up. Always. So I like that they're smart enough to go, no way in fucking hell are you going anywhere by yourself. So Frenchie goes with him, and we get the whole slowing down of Homelander's plan, which is throw Translucent Man's guts and everything that's left over into a zinc bag, and I love how he's got the 2 grenades, pops them, throws them. Karl Urban is just so fucking cool. We also, in the next scene with Starlight, we get the return of Malcolm Barrett to the Garth Ennis, is it Garth Ennis? World of comics. He was on Preacher. He was one of the, god damn it, hair whatever, the big bald dude on Preacher. He was one of the lackeys. And now he's a lapdog. He's somebody else's lapdog. He is the company lapdog, there to try to sell Starlight on a new image, because all of a sudden the rape victim or the almost rape victim comes forward, and now it's a boom for them, and they all this great publicity, and now they want to use that event to put her in a sexy costume. That's really all it is. They say all these things, and they're so phony. And the way that they try to make her believe what they're saying is such, she can read right through the bullshit. But it's just, you're going to do so much good and all this stuff. And it's just a way to put her so that people can stare at her body. That's all it is. Yeah, capitalize on buzz, capitalism. And, she's like, I can't wear this. It tells a story. And you got to give it up to Malcolm Barrett, where he's just like, the level of bullshit that he puts on, it's easy to read, but it's hilarious. He's just this phony asshole pretending to cry. It tells a story. Yeah, the story is people want to see what happens when you unzip the entire costume off of a superhero. Fucking A. But they tell her if she doesn't do it, she can't be a part of it. And so this is just going to be a thing the whole time. It's just going to anytime she has a problem, they're going to do this to her. And so does she make this concession? Another thing that just sells a little bit more of her soul away to these people, just so that she can say she's part of this big group, and that pull that people would have towards, that kind of fame, and how many parts of yourself would you sell when this isn't just superheroing. This is selling an image. We got this whole A-Train race coming up with Shockwave, which is, again, if these were good guys, I'd be waiting for it. It's like when the Flash races Superman on Justice League. It's like, and not the movie. And then, Huey goes home, he wants to get some of his own clothes, and he sees all the Seven stuff and all the comic book stuff and all the things that he used to love and how they mean nothing. And Jack Quaid, who plays Huey, just kind of just lets it all out and just starts trashing everything until he gets to his girlfriend's picture. And if you don't know who Jack Quaid is, he's not been in a ton of stuff, but he does have some famous parents, Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. But forgetting all that, he was in a little movie called Logan Lucky.
Joe said you know computers.
Yeah, I went to technical college.
Well, this here's a little more involved than that. We need like a computer whiz, like one of them Facebook boys.
I know everything there is to know about computers, okay?
Do you?
All the Twitters, I know them. But me and Sam just ain't sure we can help y'all.
Okay, apparently he was also in the Hunger Games too, but I slept. I think I was practically asleep when I was watching those movies. I don't really remember much about them except that there were CGI dogs in the first one, and that Jennifer Lawrence is way better than young adult novels. But if you like them, fine, whatever the fuck, I don't care. Frenchie talking about when he leaves the house and he's telling his dad, he kind of blows up on his dad, but kind of basically how things have been since the mother was gone, and they're just sitting there like zombies, and he doesn't like pizza rolls and blah blah blah, but he's sorry. He's sorry, but Frenchie takes it as an opening to talk about his own problem, that his father was bipolar and tried to smother him with a Hello Kitty duvet. If you don't know what a duvet is, it's a blanket. Why do guys like us know what a duvet is? Sorry, Fight Club reference, sorry. There, I did what there's another video I did recently where I was talking about Hank McCoy Beast and how he would make a reference and then point out what it was from. And I just did the same thing. But we're now introduced to Mother's Milk, who, that's his real name. I thought that they were going to go sarcastic with it, but they don't. That's his name, unless that is a joke and they'll tell us later that it's a joke. But he's a guy who works in juvenile detention, and he appears to command a lot of respect, and he seems like really good. And so since you know that this is who Billy's going to see, it's like, why would somebody who clearly is trying to help people improve their lives after making mistakes would want to be tied up with Billy? But I know that they have a past, so maybe it's kind of one of those brothers in arms kind of thing. But I have never seen the actor who plays him, Laz Alonso, in anything, but you guys might remember him from this. I wouldn't, but you might. Okay, so yeah, he was in one of the Fast Furious movies. I don't even know which one that was a clip from because I won't watch those movies. Not since I think I saw the part of the second one. Anyway, that's not important. We talk about the Mallory stuff, and I guess Mallory was a person, not just a file. It's not just a code name. I don't know who that is though. But Frenchie, he lies about Frenchie because he doesn't want to work with him. But of course, he says whatever he wants. And Homelander, seeing Elizabeth Shue's baby, that was be afraid for that baby, I would say, because, like I said, he's jealous. He's jealous of a baby. He wants it to shut up, but not only that, when he looks at it, he looks jealous of it, and so. This is the same guy who made Preacher, and if you know what I'm talking about and what we've seen already so far in The Boys, I'm very worried about that baby. For real. And whoever Mr. Edgar is demands obedience from Homelander, or at least can elicit obedience from Homelander, so I don't know what the fuck that guy's up with, but he's probably like a Professor X kind of guy, I don't know. But, we find out that Mallory had grandkids. And clearly, I think Mallory must be like I would say maybe a superhero, maybe. but I don't know. And we're also introduced to Popclaw. Her. Learn perspective. She seems to be strong-ish, and she's got these weird bones that come out of her wrist. So I guess she's kind of a X-23 type character. I'm not going to say Wolverine because she's a girl. But this is where we see like where Huey can not just accidentally blow people up because they have C4 up their ass, but that his tech skills actually come in handy. So when they are trying to figure out how to get in and see what's going on inside A-Train's secret girlfriend's apartment, they just go in and pretend to be like computer tech guys, you know, people that are like upgrading the whole building for the super. They just go in and get it all done. But then when Huey runs into A-Train in the hallway, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And just staying there even after the fact, giving them that extra look in the eye like, recognize me so we can die right now. But it is nice to see Huey kind of embracing the anger a bit more. We also see Queen Maeve training. And I'm pretty much associating Queen Maeve at this point as kind of a... she reminds me of Samuel L. Jackson's character from Django Unchained. Maybe you follow me on that. The person who's... knows... like who's under somebody's thumb, knows it's wrong, and just is despicable despite it all, and is there to just be like, oh yeah, sure. And that may be a stretch for some people, but it's the first thing that I thought of. And yes, I was right. The only reason Homelander cares about Translucent Man is because it somehow might involve him. And she's like, yeah, you figured out a way to make it about you. Because that's how people like him think, is that if something's wrong there, then it could somehow get back to me. And that's how guilty people behave. I would probably say, I don't know. But he does bring up a good point. He really does. Like, why are we afraid of this? Like, they sign our paychecks. So what? You could use your powers to take whatever you want. And I'm not, saying that's how superheroes should be, but the way he is, it makes sense that his character would just take everything he wants and say, screw a paycheck. What do I need money for? I can just take whatever I want. So, I mean, there's got to be something else it really does, unless they're worried about the Compound V. Like, if maybe Homelander's not smart enough to get his own, or make his own, then maybe he needs to go along to get along, but he doesn't seem to need it, at least his character doesn't yet, but we don't know how far this goes. And when they go up there and they fight that guy, which is not really a fight, and Homelander kills him after he's already given up, he enjoyed watching him die. And again, nobody can stand up to him, not even the Wonder Woman of this world. And yeah, A-Train, when they're looking in on him and he's feeling all inadequate. Oh, what if this guy's better than me and everything? And then we find out what Compound V really is, and it's superhero steroids. Now, it does make you wonder, how super are they without it? Like Billy says, But it's revealed by Popclaw in the surveillance that he was on it when he ran through Huey's girlfriend, which at that point, Huey just, that's it. That's all he needs to hear. And you find out, really, A-Train in the end, he's just some fucking pathetic junkie with, who'll do anything to keep his fame. And it's all just pathetic. But they need to get some so that they can reverse engineer it. Now, why would they want to reverse engineer it? Unless they wanted to use it on themselves, possibly? I don't know. It kind of seems that way, because he says Frenchie says something along the lines of he wants to try it on himself. So, I don't know if it's a super steroid or if it could also give powers. I don't know. And Mother's Milk telling Huey that everything comes with a price, But Huey says he's willing to pay it because this has got to get done. And it just seems like Mother's Milk is just way too nice for this. Again, like I said, it's just... He's kind of the odd man out. And until he can prove, besides, I guess, like I said, he understands criminal behavior, it appears, you know what I mean? But and especially with maybe the guys he works with. But he just seems way too nice. And I mean, like, listen to how he talks to his girlfriend and shit. He gets mocked for it, but I mean, we do see that Starlight does make her concession and is in the outfit, and that all the Supes are there on arrival, even Homelander, and just, you know, just playing up the crowd. And, you know, Starlight's trying to do like autographs for people, and, you know, sees the little girl in her old costume, which is nice, and she has to hear those guys that, you know, like, hey, Starlight, show us your tits. And how does she react to the, you know, the girl? She wants to stop them, but she knows she can't in front of the freaking corporate people, but also fighting this guy. How does she handle the situation? And she just tells her to save her money, don't buy the new costume. The one you're wearing right now is fine. And it's more and more likely when I'm watching this and seeing how they all behave, and in a realistic situation, if superheroes were real, like really real in our world, I think somehow instinctively, even though like I love comic books now, but if I lived in a world with real superheroes, and just like I said, me being me, I feel like I would be instinctively untrusting of superheroes. And this is just me. Like I said, if it was me right now, like for who I am, and let's say I never collected comic books, and I was born into a world with superheroes, and I grew up, I'd probably grow up liking them, but by the time I hit like my Kurt Cobain years, you know, like 15, 16, I probably would have hated superheroes in real life. Because I smelled bullshit. I called bullshit on a lot of stuff when I was a kid. But I don't know. It just... I don't know. I'd like to think that I would be smarter than that. Homelander and his multiple obsessions, when he's talking about different things, it's just, he's all over the place. Because now he's like talking about, you know, getting back with Maeve, and if she ever like, or not even that, but if she was with somebody else, how he'd feel about it. It's like, he's got everybody under his thumb, really. And the only person that can keep him in control is Elizabeth Shue. It's nice seeing Huey and Annie meet up, even though it's under circumstances where Huey's trying to break into A-Train's locker and get the V. But again, it's nice, you know, she needs someone like Huey. She needs someone to keep her grounded, somebody to keep it real, somebody to remind her of what this is really about. And when he tells her, you know, you don't owe anybody anything, you know, just walk away. You've got nothing to prove. But the thing is, it's like, I feel like he's like a lot of guys, or anybody that gives someone advice that's already made up their mind. They just want to hear somebody say it so that they can feel justified in ignoring it in a way. But it was at this point that I kind of came up with just two kind of obvious theories that I believe Queen Maeve will probably do something to try to stop Homelander. Whether that works or not, I think she'll have a line that she'll say is enough, but I don't see her succeeding. But I also feel like Starlight's going to there's going to be a line for Starlight too, where she's going to have to find her way back and make up for kind of not really doing anything wrong, just kind of being a part of the problem. Because there's that line of like, I don't know if they really want you to be a hero or just look like one, what she says. Which is absolutely true. This is all just selling an image. And you're a commodity or a product. We see Popclaw taking V. And since he had eyeballed the junkie kit before he knew what was going on, and so she takes the V, and she's all kinds of roided out, pumping iron, and her landlord Alec comes to the door, and they go, oh well, he's dead. Like, he's not getting out of this. And you know, she decides, you know, hey, what if I do other things for you instead of pay you rent? And so she proceeds to sit on his face. And then she has an orgasm. I'll put it lightly. That'll be the nice way of putting it. And as she or climaxes, she crushes dude's face with her vagina. or maybe her thighs, I don't know, but it just which is I would say it would be a nice way to go, but I don't think he was having a good time. So anyway, he was like, you let that guy die. And he's right. What would you do? What were you going to do? How are you going to get there? How are you going to get there and beat it all? Like, it's just... But now they have blackmail on her. And they go in there like this as friends to help her get rid of the body. And that all they want in return is everything she knows about Compound V. And the last bit of this is Homelander in the Deep showing Elizabeth Shue that they found Translucent Man with the help of a helpful porpoise. I liked how he keeps saying it was a porpoise. It was a friggin' porpoise that found him. And that they were just there to slow him down, that this is all biding time, and that there is a bigger plot. And they should be worried because in the inside of the case, of course, Billy couldn't resist writing "coming for you." And this means war. So, that being said, that's the end of the episode. And it's been really hard not to just binge this. Taking this on like every couple of episodes. I got to tell you guys, I mean, since it's been out since July 26th and I've only gotten through 3 episodes, it's very hard not to try to jump ahead. But we're sticking to the schedule, and I'm enjoying the episodes slowly, like a fine wine. And so, this is Rob at Smirking Gun Review saying, if you liked this review, please hit that like button. Otherwise, comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this. If you're not a subscriber already, please become a subscriber and hit the bell for all notifications, all that jazz. Otherwise, this is Rob at Smirking Gun Review saying, have a great day, and this means war.
Of course, this means war.